Hi guys, it's loading here, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on the basics of HTML5 and CSS. So I'm going to create a new file. Just going to save this. Like I said, this is just going to be some basics at first. It's going to be a few episodes. And then maybe we're going to get into some more advanced things. So I'm going to save this. It's going to basically be the home page. So save it as an HTML file. And there are a few programs you can use to code this. Actually, you're not limited at all. This is brackets. You can also use Notepad++ or even Notepad if you really want to, or Visual Studio. But I prefer brackets. And yeah, you can also, if you just save that, you can choose the language you're going to code in. Okay, so first off, in an HTML document, you have to tell the browser which type of document it is going to use. So this will be an HTML document, and then you can start your HTML file. You're gonna create an opening and a closing tag. Brackets automatically closes your tags for you, which is nice. And then we're gonna create a header, which is basically just type head. And then inside the header, a title. I'm gonna call this tutorial. And if I save this now by right-clicking and save, or just pressing Ctrl S, that little dot's gonna disappear there. And then there's a live preview button in brackets as well. Okay. And then basically there's your website so far. It's a tutorial, that's the title we just added. Okay. So the next thing you're gonna want to add to your website is a body, which is just a body tag. And this is where all the information inside of your website is going to go. This is basically the body. Okay, so you get 6 different types of headings. It's H1, then all the way down to H6. No. Quickly add them. Show you the differences now. And then lastly H6. Okay, so just gonna add some text. When you add text to I'm gonna call them operators, they'll be between the opening and closing brackets. insert was on. So yeah, like I said, just add any text you want into these. Then save your document, go back to your live preview, and there they are. So yeah, that's the headings. Then you can also add a paragraph, which is just going to be a P opening and closing tag, and all of your text between the opening and closing tags. If you save that, it's going to be there. Also, if you want to add a line break between, for example, if you want to, this is going to be next to each other now, like that. If you want to add that to the second line, all you do is you add a line break right there, which is just BR without a closing tag, and it goes to the next line. If you are using Notepad++ and you then going to open the folder you saved it in and just double click this, then what's going to happen is once you save in Notepad++, you have to refresh the page for it to work. Okay, the basic paragraph. If you want, you can also add tables, or let's first add another paragraph. So the live preview is going to update it, automatically spaces between two paragraphs, but you can also add some breaks, and the space will increase the more you add them. It doesn't matter where you add them, it can be there, there, it will still be the same. Then you get things like dividers, which is basically almost like these switches, but it's just div. That is more for styling, which you can keep everything together. So basically, if I want to style these paragraphs the same, I can just add the div, or I can give them the same class. But I'm not going to do that quite yet. But I will save this like this, and the next thing I'm going to do is add a table. So say for example, you have some names. Okay, first add the table. Then that's just a table tag to say, okay, you're going to work in a table now. Then add a table row. I'm going to add 3 of them. You can just type it out if you really want to. or you can copy and paste this part. Okay, 3 rows, and now the columns. The columns are opened with a TD tag. Add 2 columns to each. No, I'm only going to add one to this one, and then two to the one at the wait, I'm going to add one more table row. Can make that one 1, and I'll make this one 2. This one 2. And the last one 2 as well. Okay, so like I said, text between them. First column, and let's say he has some money. No, wait. Marks on a test, score test, 80. $65. And let's say this guy didn't show up. No, wait, let's make it 95. Okay. So if I save this now, it's going to show me my table like this. And like this is 2 columns, that's why this is so far. So what I can do, so I can go to this one. I can say call span, and then say 2 columns. So if I save this, it will come bring this in because this is now 1, and those are 2 different columns. Okay, the basics of HTML. And now I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to save that in the same folder. Call it Stylesheet.css and save that. Now you have to link it to the HTML so that the index or the basic HTML knows where to get the styles from. So I'm going to add a link with a reference, going to be a style sheet, and then the type is going to be CSS, yes. No, wait, I think I have to close this, I'm not sure, I can't remember, but we'll see. So an easy way to test this is just to say body, some curly brackets, and say background color, and then you can choose your color with name or by hexadecimal number. For example, if you want it black, it's going to be 6 zeros, save that, and there is your background color. Let's, for interesting sake, make that should be, yeah, Okay, see, it's readable. Just want to see something here. Okay. And now, if I want all my tables to be, let's say for example, I want them to be just blue, just normal blue, hinge lines with a semicolon, and that will be your lines. Now let's make it light blue. Okay, and I want them to have a border. That border thickness is 1 pixel. It's a solid border. You can also have dashed, I think, and I'm not sure what's the others, but yeah, solid border. And I want it to be black. Semicolon. Save, and now it has a border. You can also do the same for your table columns, which is just this whole thing again. No, not that one. Then you have each cell in its own border. You can also change the thickness to whatever you want. Just change it to like that. And that's the table. If you want to center these, or well, you can center these as well. If you want to center them all, you're going to just go into the table cell and just say text align, center, and then they're all centered. You can do the same with your rows, but with cells you can individually style them. So if I make this a class equals quotation marks, I'm going to call the class marks. Just going to copy that to here and to here. Give them all the same class, save the file, go back here, change this to a class by putting a full stop in front of it. And it is not working. Let me first see here. Oh, right. Take this out. Save. That's still going to be a normal one. And that class is marks, which I just created, of course. And then text align center. Now only the right hand side text will be aligned. You can also change the font size. Let's make it 15 pixels. It's about the same. No. Okay, now it's very small. Yeah, if you want to, you can change that. You can change the text color, which will just be color. And let's make it whatever color that is. Or of course you can also use the hexadecimal colors, which work as follows. It's red, green, and blue. So depending on the numbers you add, like for example, it goes from 0 to 9, and then from A to F. So if I press 0, it's all going to be black. F is all going to be white. If I wanted red, I do that. If I wanted yellow, if I remember correctly, this should work. Yes. And purple. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, so thanks for watching the first episode. Like I said, it's just the basics. You can play around with. There's a lot of HTML, but just remember to link it correctly. If you put it into a folder, like that. Okay, just all the styling is gone now. Then you just have to get the right folder name, slash, and then the file name, and then it should work again. Yep. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.